Hi guys, it's Carissa. So, as you know, my husband and I were looking into a second opinion with another fertility specialist, and we did have to wait quite a while to actually get our appointment and be seen, but it was well worth it. And we have made the decision that we are going to go with the new facility. The previous specialist did not seem to meet our needs, basically, and the new direction that they were kind of hinting at was more IUIs just to see, or straight into injectables. And I am not a doctor. I have no medical history or knowledge at all, but I just had a feeling that wasn't for us. I just didn't feel good about the fact that he was kind of like, hey, this didn't work, so this is what we do next. So the new specialist, without knowing that that's how I felt, actually mirrored my sentiments exactly. Basically, the doctor that we saw, one of many that work with this group, took a look at our medical history and our history with the last specialist, and said, you will need to do some blood tests to see if this is worth it, but I recommend different medications with more IUIs or straight to IVF, because injectables don't seem like they would actually work with our situation. And that's really all I needed to hear was, hey, looking at you as individual people and as a couple, I don't care that that's normally the next step. It doesn't look like it would work for you. Basically, we were told that injectables really only increase our odds of multiples, but they don't increase our odds of conceiving, not enough. He said it's about a 2% difference, and it doesn't seem like it's something that would work well given our history. So I was prescribed metformin, which many other TTCers have with PCOS have been put on, and I was told that they'd be going more in the Femara direction than Clomid. I don't know, I didn't ask, I don't know if that's because they normally use Femara or if they think that Clomid wasn't doing enough for me, or they just want to see if I react differently on it. But they said that that seemed like a better combination for me. They also tested my thyroid and said that my thyroid function, although it falls under the category of being normal, it's still kind of, my numbers were kind of high for someone who was trying to conceive. So they would be putting me on a medication to regulate that and make it so that my body's a little bit more likely to conceive. I do know some people who have had trouble conceiving, found out their thyroid function wasn't normal, got put on a medication, and were pregnant next month. And I'm not saying that I think that that'll be the case for us, but that's something that the last specialist didn't even, it's like they didn't even think that it was worth looking into. And that kind of stuff really bothers me. I thought PCOS couldn't be, I guess I don't want to say diagnosed, but I guess PCOS, couldn't be confirmed with a blood test. But however, this specialist actually did do a blood test to tell me how much my PCOS impacts my infertility. And that's, again, something that the last specialist didn't even mention, didn't offer as an option. And it was their way of saying, is it even worth it for you to try and do any inseminations? Should we just go straight to IVF? They also did a morphology test for my husband. The last facility did sperm count testing during the wash before each insemination, but they didn't actually do a semen analysis prior to any of our cycles. So, and I know someone who's done IVF with them, they wait to do a semen analysis until before you're at that step. So I thought, wow, morphology would play a huge role in whether or not an IUI was worth it. I can't believe they don't do that beforehand. So they were really trying to let us know what our odds were of having an IUI be worth it for us. And you know what? It actually is. I am not that affected by my PCOS in terms of fertility, in terms of viable, usable eggs. And I guess the test that they did kind of can tell them whether or not I've got just a whole bunch of dead eggs and cysts or whatever, you know, whatever it all turns into in there. And so basically we got really good news. They did tests, they went above and beyond, and they said, look, yes, you have PCOS, but it's not that bad. You're still pretty fertile. And his morphology and his sperm count and everything is great. So more IUIs with different drug combinations might just be all it takes. And I'm willing to try that. With the other place, they weren't going to change anything. They were going to just keep having us do what we were doing. And they weren't going to do any tests or anything to see why something wasn't working or adjust anything. It was just going to be the same old thing. And, you know, I think anybody who's been through even a couple IUIs, you know how much it is just so emotional a process. And to think I could be wasting my time and money and I could just go straight to IVF if that's more effective, that's kind of what we were looking at. So I really appreciate the fact that the specialist said, injectables aren't for you. You have to do either this or this. We're leaving it up to you. It's really whatever you want, but these are the two things we think would be most effective. Obviously, they think trying inseminations before IVF would make sense, and they didn't even limit us to a certain number. They just said, you know, we'll never say no, we'll just tell you what we think would be best, but we'll always listen to what you want and what you feel you need. They stressed that I should start yoga and before and during cycles have acupuncture, and I haven't set any of that up yet because unfortunately my blood pressure is still a little high. And they recommended that I ask my doctor to increase my medication dose. And I'm on methyl-dopa, which no one's ever heard of, and my doctor has to keep, you know, looking at ancient physicians' reference guides because it's a really old drug that you have to take like 4 or 5 times a day to get the proper dosage, and there's a reason why they don't use it anymore, you know, because there's more effective and simpler medications, but it's one of the only ones that's safe during pregnancy or while you're trying to conceive. My blood pressure is still a little up there. So she prescribed something else and said, I just kind of want to make sure everything's okay and basically clear me to continue on the medications I'm on. So I have an appointment with a hypertension and cardiology specialist at the end of next month. So I might want to wait to do a cycle until I hear from him, and unfortunately it's really hard to get in to see him sooner, so I might not be doing a cycle till October. So I know I lost over 6 months just trying to figure things out, but I can't tell you how beautiful life is when you're not trying to conceive, not under the conditions that I'm in anyway. And I'll tell you, there are people who've had it way harder than we have, and I can't tell you enough how much I respect you, because we haven't even gotten pregnant yet. We haven't had a miscarriage yet. We haven't had any of those other awful things happen to us. We just haven't had any luck. But I think that, you know, it's so easy to really look through a microscope and say, you know, this is what's going on. This is what we need to do. This is how much money it's costing. You know, this is how much time we're losing doing this versus this. In the meantime, I'm getting baby shower invitations and finding out that so-and-so is pregnant, so-and-so is pregnant. And it just feels so heavy, and it feels like it's just a constant uphill battle. And my husband and I have a relationship unlike many that I know. You know, we're so supportive and we're so in tune with each other, and we care so much about each other as people, and I think it hurts us each so much to see the other person going through it. So when I kind of was like, well, we're going to see somebody else, let's just stop trying for a while, it was like we were hearing music all the time, and the sun was finally breaking through the clouds, and our lives just felt livable again. It was like we could finally breathe, and it has been so nice to enjoy the summer and enjoy time with each other and not have to worry about co-pays and bills in the mail and disappointment, constant appointments. It's unreal how good it feels. So at the very least, I could highly recommend taking a break. There's something to be said for it, really and truly. And I don't mind waiting till October, because maybe it'll take me that long to kind of clear my head and prepare myself again for having to do all of this, because I don't handle it well. I don't want to call myself names or say that I'm weak, but I am weak. I can't handle it. It's just too, it hurts too much, all of it. So I have to say, I feel really good. I'm really happy about everything that, I've decided to change up until this point, and I am not looking back. I don't regret it whatsoever. And I happened to meet someone recently who had twins, and I kind of was wondering if she had gone through the same thing I did, because, twins aren't necessarily common outside of fertility drugs. So it turned out she went to the same facility I did, and they're the ones who got her twins, and they made her dreams come true. And it was just kind of nice to actually hear someone say, we went to the same place you did, we left for basically the same reasons, we went to another place and it worked. And that doesn't mean by any means it's going to happen for us, but it's just so good to hear. That's why we're all watching each other go through this on YouTube, isn't it? We want to know, who's going through what they're doing, what did and didn't work. And although our bodies are very different and our situations might be very different, there's a reason why it feels so good to hear that something actually came through for someone. So I haven't really talked about that at all. I do here and there, kind of to update family, but I really hate talking about it. I do. I hate even acknowledging it at all. But I'm doing it for those of you who need to hear it. For girls like me who just feel like the only way to deal with it is to just cry and cry, like that's going to do something. I just wanted to put that out there. And if you're seeing strange things all over this channel, if you've been here since the beginning, you know that it was initially an accountability test for me to get to a goal weight and to basically get control of my life again. And in the process, I found out, that I do have PCOS, I have insulin resistance, I have more difficulty losing weight than other people do, and I'm slowly trying to figure that out. And although it kind of morphed into a TTC channel, I want it to just be about my life. And if you're here and you care about me and you want me to lose weight, or you're rooting for me to have a baby, you probably shouldn't, I wouldn't think, care that I have other things that I'd like to share with you guys, So if you see things like product reviews, it might seem really shallow, and it might seem like, hello, you're here for other reasons. But I think that there's so much to be said for enjoying your life in the process. I feel like there are way too many people, and I was one of them for quite a while, that felt like I have to get to the finish line. I have to achieve my goals before I can enjoy what I'm working so hard to do. And I think that's sad. I think that just because I'm not at my goal weight, or just because I haven't had any babies, doesn't mean I can't take pride in my appearance and do things to make myself look and feel better, so that I have a different perspective on life. I have to tell you, for the longest time, I thought there's no eyeshadow in the world that will make me look thinner, so why put any of it on? And I really stopped taking pride in my appearance and doing things to make me feel good about me. And I don't know if you know, but there's something about a day where you feel good about how you look. It makes, I don't know, I feel like there's no way for me to say it that really articulates what it means to me and why I'm trying to share it with other people. But I basically don't want to be boxed in to this is my weight loss or TTC or whatever channel. So if you're here with me, welcome. If you don't like it, whatever. I'm not making this video, you know, I don't know why I feel like I have to justify it. But I did get a new pet. My husband bought me a baby hedgehog, and I did make a separate channel for him just because he's too cute to be mixed up in all this business. So you might see all sorts of stuff here. I just wanted to warn you, that's what's going on. If you subscribe and you see something you don't like, just don't watch it. But those of you who are here, no matter why, thank you. Thank you to all the people who've been here before and given me the strength to try and reach out and help others. It all means a lot to me. And I feel like if I had lived in any other time, I might not have been able to get through some of this because I wouldn't have had the support system that I've found here. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here with me. Thanks for, you know, sitting through all my weirdness, and I will see you very soon. Or you'll see me very soon. Bye.